because this one boy was calling it Yao. He said, Brendan, that's how
Oh,
we say it in Vietnamese. I thought that was funny. And let's see, Mr. Dung with the sleepy guy with the Z, 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 Z. Let's listen to Dung here. It's a 2-minute presentation.
For hundreds of years, the traditional way of note-taking has been the preferred and most popular way of doing so. From learning to making notes, we all use a pen and a piece of paper. But now, as the world develops, the new digital way of note-taking starts to get much more popular, making traditional note-taking much less preferred for many people. But for me, I believe that traditional note-taking is much better than digital note-taking. First of all, let's talk about accessibility. Even though in areas such as America or Europe, technology is much more accessible there compared to other places such as Africa or Asia. Not everyone can get hold of a tablet or a phone. They cost as much as $2,000, but a small notebook and a pen cost as much as $2. Next, you get much more flexibility with traditional note-taking, as you are able to sketch, write like how you want. While typing on your computer, you type everything in a few different fonts in some different colors, and it feels really boring. It just looks like an essay. Tablets and phones or computer, they all require power and electricity to use. It can go out of energy or become broken, but a notebook won't. Next, the traditional way of note-taking is much more preservable. Why so? Notes are usually much more durable and long-lasting than files. A small error with your device and a file could be deleted, but the same thing would happen with notes. Lastly, using your device too much can badly affect your health, especially eyesight. While traditional way of note-taking can help in many ways, such as memory, not affecting your health, and being able to write for a long time without getting distracted, will help you have a much stronger mental health. That's all. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, interesting. Doing you even included mental health. That's like kind of advanced stuff, doing because researchers say for brain development, writing with pens and pencils actually creates this brain development called brain training, and it could be that just doing typing on a smartphone or a tablet, you don't get the same kind of brain development doing. Doing, did you know about that?
but sometimes
Not really.
when we're writing on with hands, we can remember, you know, more.
That's true.
I only know that by typing it doesn't help much with your memory, but by writing it does.
This is a really good point, Doom, because I have experienced that where if I have to write something down, it slows me down and it slows my thinking down and I get more accurate. I play guitar, so if I'm writing a song, I use my pen and I lean over paper. Then I go back to the guitar. And by stopping and starting and stopping and starting, I go slowly and I make better guitar music. If I do music on my desktop computer, it's all da 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 really fast. And it's not so interesting sometimes because I move too fast. So traditional pen and pencil can slow you down. It's really good. Nice point, Dung. Let me just take a message here. Did we get sometimes we get late homework assignments. That's fine. Is Do Kwang here today? Do Kwang just turned his in. Do Kwang, I'm not sure what you said in it, but let's listen to what you did. I just got this. So let's see if there's video. And if there is video or just audio, it might take a second to get this going, Do Kwang. For some reason, some MP4s are slow. I want to say I got Mr. Do Kwang, but I want to hear how it sounds. Do Kwang, I can't get it started. I'll try again, I promise. Hey, this is Kwang. I always like Kwang. You have this like mature guy presentation as a secondary student.
So today I will tell you about my opinion and my answer for the question. I think that SOMB should be will use less and less by student and the worker, and they should change to the keyboard typing on the computer or the screen, because they have many tools about it, like the speed. It's faster to use the keyboard typing and touch screen instead of the writing. And keyboard typing and touch screen is useful for us when we do important tasks like write an email, write a report, or do homework. And this can help you save more time. Secondly, it's easier to edit and reply what we have written. Thirdly, your hand won't be hurt because you don't have to write a lot. Finally, this change is suitable for people who have the right hand writing. But in the world has many areas like many poor villages in India and Africa, where pen and pencils are the only way of writing to communicate ideas. I think that the government should provide more support to this area, or they can contact for help from the non-governmental organizations to provide the readers for students and workers.
You know, this is interesting. Do you know some of these countries are so poor, Kwang, that they don't even have a chalkboard. They don't even have pens and pencils. So the students have to use chalkboards here. It looks like that. Have you guys used the chalkboard, or do you still use them in your class? Curious.
When I'm in the primary school, I always use it when I'm in class. So it's really familiar to us.
Yeah. So like here's this girl in an African country and they all line up at the chalkboard because some of them don't even have notebooks, you guys. So Kwang and Dung, thank you very much for including what do you guys remember? We use that word stakeholders in your debate. Stakeholders are the people who are affected by things. Stakeholders, you know, you could say, well, it's the students in Vietnam and we're going to talk about it, but you can expand or make wider who the stakeholders are all around the world. And that works really well in a debate because, you know, Vietnam is becoming more and more powerful economically, regionally. It's becoming a very strong country, you guys. It always was a strong country. Yay! And so you can start opening up the way Japan did and start talking about issues in Africa and stuff like that. Tom, what do you think? I heard you say, yay. Someone said, yay. Tom, was it you who said, yay?
I was just playing games. Don't mind.
Oh, all right. Who said yay? Someone said, yay, Vietnam is getting stronger. I really do mean that. So as your country becomes stronger, you'll find yourself not getting involved in the politics of another country, but cooperating to help a poorer country in Africa to develop more. Japan has done that. China has done that. The Asian nations are really beginning to help countries in Africa that need a lot of help. You guys know the whole story with Africa. They have unbelievably rich mineral resources to make computer parts and diamonds and gold. And even rich countries like Saudi Arabia are buying farms to grow corn and wheat in case there's climate change. They own hundreds of miles, hundreds of acres of land to grow food, emergency food there. So Africa is really important. Bone, you have a question?
Because you know, like Africa, it is very wide, so the minerals there, it is like, you know, very good for planting and planting. So people, they usually plant many you know, resources there.
Yeah. Now, do you know the problem about it, you guys? What's the real big problem about Africa? See, they don't go to school. It's pretty terrible. Their mothers and fathers need money. So they give the children to a manager and he takes them out to work in the mines to get gold and silver. And so look at these little kids have to work. They can't go to school. And this is terrible. They don't learn to read and write. Look at how young these kids are. And they're looking for gold here, right? And then the manager gets a bag of money from someone from a foreign country and they work in the mud and water and they don't learn to read and write. That's for mining. Also, African children pick the cocoa beans, you guys. Picking cocoa beans for chocolate in Ghana again, the same thing. They send these children out to pick cocoa beans to make, and they're not happy. They're so tired. They have to work all day and they don't go to school. Look at, he has a machete and this boy is like 9 or 10 years old. He's using a dangerous knife to cut the cocoa beans. And then they cut these inside are these soft, mushy things that become chocolate. So that's cocoa beans. Look at, he has to carry all of this for the chocolate beans, and then they make chocolate bars from this. So some chocolate companies are saying, stop using children's labor. Here they are picking the dried cocoa beans that become brown to make our chocolate. And look at how young these kids are. They have to pick beans all day, and they don't even get the money. They have to give the money to their moms and dads, and it's just a terrible situation. Oh, and you have another question? Okay, yeah. So you have to help, Africa. But again, pens and pencils are all they really have. All right, let's listen to one more because you guys did a really good job on this. I was really happy with your results. If we go back to Zalo with Mr. Tom, no, with Kwong. Let me see, is this a share that I can do on Zalo? Okay, so I'll finish this one. I'll stop the share. Let me stop that share. Sometimes Zalo can be kind of tricky to use to play your presentations, and I'm hoping I don't get knocked out. If I get knocked out of the presentation, then I promise I'll come back right away. Oh my goodness, this is Christina and Christina.
Hi, Teacher Brendan, and hi, guys. Today, I'm gonna talk about a topic named, should we use pen and pencil less? First, I think that pen and pencil are really useful, but for some reason, they are dying out now. For example, in my mom's company or office, I go to her place and I see all her co-workers are using keyboard. They do not really use pen and pencil much. Only my mom. My mom only uses pen. She often or rarely use pencils. I don't think the pencil and pens are used now, but they can still be used. Like for children, imagine when grade 1 children or children in primary school like us, we do not learn on tablet yet. First reason is bad for eyes, bad for health. Now, these are most important reasons. And the first grade, children are starting to learn with pens and pencils. So if pens and pencils die out, children won't have a place or a thing to write on. It's just that pen and pencil won't be used anymore, and children will use to write on laptops and iPad. That will be not considered as a good thing, For some reasons, children need pen and pencils because they are practicing their skills to write words. If their words are not pretty, they can use their pen and pencil to write it. With tablet, they can just wrote on and then done. It was just kind of awful. Many people use keyboards and monitor instead of pen and pencil. I'm just asking why, because pen and pencil are made, and pen and pencil sometimes are really useful to us because when we don't have a keyboard or laptop, we can't go anywhere without a laptop or something. We could just bring a pen and paper and pencils. They are small and they are useful for us too. We can easily put it in our bag. What about the computers? The computers are the big ones. The screen, the keyboard, they will harm because we have to put it in the bag and carry it everywhere. We're getting tired. And every time we need to write something down, we have to open the bag, open the computer, and type on it. We also have to open an app to write on it. That will take a lot of time. So how about we can just use pen and paper, use pen and pencils to on the paper to write on, then done. It was more easy, isn't it? So I think pen and pencil still need It's just that you guys don't use it, so it will be more or less. But I think children really need it. And for our works, when we need something emergency, we can just bring a laptop. We can just bring our phones. Yes, but our phone we have to take a lot of time. We can just search for pencil and paper, write on, and then done. See, it was quick. About a phone and computers take a long time to do it. So that will take a long time for you to press the button, press the key, open an app, and then you finish. That's take a lot of time. Otherwise, you use pen and pencil, and they're done. Easily, fast. So, for my conclusions, and for all, we go to the end, and pen and pencil, in my conclusion, they're still needed. How about you? What do you think of pen and pencils? Do you think that pen and pencil still needed instead of keyboard and laptop? I think pen and pencil still needed because they are really useful. Just like some reason I'll tell you. Bye. See you next time.
All right, Christina. Very nice, Christina. I left lots of notes in chat because you did a really wonderful job on that. Can we say thank you to Christina? And the debate, that's about 4 minutes of work, and that's excellent too, Christina, because these presentations, I usually say talk for 1 or 2 minutes when I give your homework. But Christina expanded that to the full 4 minutes you will probably use in the debate. So thank you so much for that, Christina. It shows the other students, this is how long it has to be. All right, so it's we've been studying for about 20 minutes now. What I'd like to do is to move on to today's lesson. And Bone, can you read the first part of today's lesson here? And I'm going to put it on the share. And it has some notes that I've already talked about before about doing a great job. So, of course, some of this I've already said. But here's Bone, if you can read all of this blue part here.
Saturday, June 29th debate lesson. Very nice work on your pens and pencils, or traditional forms of writing versus modern forms of communication and writing such as tablets and smartphones. Her argumentation was strong, and I'm proud of you. This type of debate question is a little different because you almost have to evaluate both sides of the argument. And this can become confusing if the debate judges and audience think, well, what side is this person talking? But are they arguing for or against pencils or pens? But I think you did a very good job of making clear what your position is. Let's listen to some of the response when you demonstrate clearly which side you take. I'll pause the video or audio when we get to this point when you make your position clear. Okay.
Nice. Yeah, we already did that, Bone, so thank you very much. You made your positions clear. All right, Do Kwang Fong, are you there, Mr. Do Kwang Fong? Can I do that? Unmute for
Yes,
Mr.
I'm
Do Kwang.
here.
How are you today, Do Kwang?
Good.
Good, yeah. Could you read this for today's work, today's topic?
Today's topic. When I was a primary student, all of my classmates and I would get excited if there was a film the teacher wanted us to see. We could relax in a dark room and watch an educational film, and we really enjoy film on science, social studies, and English. Nowadays, besides films for students, teachers can use blackboard games using a notebook computer and also show videos from YouTube on science or history blackboard games. This question then is, should students use even more computer time, films, and blackboard games instead of traditional paper plan book and paper notebook and tests to help you learn? Or do you think textbooks and workbooks printed on paper are still the best way to learn?
Very nice, Do Kwang. Really good, Do Kwang. So do you see the pictures? What do you see in these pictures, you guys? 6 great Blackboard games for your online lesson. What do you think, Lucy? These kids are cute.
It's cute and it's an awesome way to study too.
Yeah, it seems like they're really engaged.
Enjoy.
Yeah, enjoying their lesson. Oh, sorry. Enjoying their lesson. Yeah. I like this guy here. He's smiling, and this guy too. It must be a great lesson or something, right? Look at how little this kid is. He's like 3 or 4 years old and he's doing painting. Do you think he's too young? Let's ask Christina, do you think this boy is maybe too young?
I only think he is 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah, do you think he should be using real paints or computer paints to do some artwork?
I think when he was small like that, he can enjoy using real paint because it helps him to express more creativity. On computer, sometimes painting, you cannot paint whatever you want because sometimes the computer goes wrong and you can't just write the words beautifully like you did on the papers.
Yeah. Who was it? We had the chat in chat. Somebody, I'm going to have to go back, but it was using a pen and pencil is good for your motor skills. Who said that? Was that Bone or preferred way of taking notes? Dung, you said, yeah, by writing things down, it's good for your memory and for your hand and eye development and your brain development. You and I were discussing that. So it could be that if this boy was using real wet paints, that's better for his development, for his brain. Do you think so? What do you think, Dung?
Can you repeat? It was quite loud at my house. I didn't hear it quite.
Oh, okay. Before you said it could be a pen or pencil helps you to remember more because it's like training your brain to go slowly and write stuff. And if you see the boy is using a computer to paint, it could be that using real wet paints with his fingers makes him go slower, make better artwork, and then it's better for his brain training. Don't you think?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
You still wouldn't be able to express your full creativity with those painting apps. Like you can, if you want, you can mix this color with that color to make another color. But with those painting apps, you have like 20 color and you have to use them all. You cannot make new ones.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, Dung, also, do you see this boy has these shapes up above this? It could be that this is good to teach shapes and paintings. It might be difficult to do that if he used only traditional wet paints, you know. So it's a balance. You have to think about both things in an argument, you guys. Do you see what I mean? So like if he's looking at circles, ovals, squares, lines, it could be that this is pretty good too, but it's just two very different things of doing artwork. By the way, I want to show you something funny. This was the projector. If we saw this in my classroom like 45 years ago, the students would get really excited because we could watch a movie. And the movies came from National Geographic with the distinct golden rectangle. Do you guys know this famous magazine in America, National Geographic? The nickname
in my science class, like teacher always show us this programs and we're like so familiar with that.
Yeah. Does he show them on using a notebook and a blackboard, or does he use the old projector, Lucy?
Yeah, he's using like, because my class don't have a projector, so he use on the TV to show us.
Yeah, teachers all use TV now. They used to set this up in the back of the room. They put film in here, and then it goes through the machine and it projects the light out. And we would watch things on like flying monsters, meerkats, giant pandas, lions. We loved these films, right? We just couldn't wait to play them. Okay, let's see. We'll pick someone else. Who is NN? There's a student named NN. Who's the mysterious NN? NN, who are you?
I'm here.
Oh, what's your English name, NN? Is that KKTV?
Yes, but my and full name is no name.
No name. All right. I love these mysterious KKTV and I think on our last lesson we're going to call you Mr. X. NN, can you read this last part here to help us a little bit? No name.
Remember the debate language. Our team supports the continuous use of textbooks and workbook that are paper-based because 1. Our team advocates for the use of more film, game, and internet search using a much high-tech learning aid as the student and the teacher like. Negative. Our team is against really too much on film and game in class because we think we can share some idea here in a breakout room with Mr. Bonds and Lucy as breakout room leaders. Some educational films from National Geographic, a famous American magazine and education company.
Nice reading, and I wish you can read more for us. You have a nice reading voice, nice and powerful and clear. Great stuff. All right. So yeah, we loved our films and this got us very excited about education. So what do you think? Would you like to discuss this? Do you want more movies, more Blackboard games, more independent study using tablets with Bone and Lucy as your group leaders? Oh no, where's Mr. Others, Bone? Hey, Bone, are you ready for some breakout rooms? Where did our guy Bone go? Did he have a Wi-Fi problem? Bone, are you there? What happened to Bone? Oh no, we need Bone to help us. He's our co-host and he dropped out. But I think it's maybe a Wi-Fi problem. Lucy, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Lucy, would you like to lead a breakout room? Because I can't find Bone and
It's up to you. What do you think? It's like,
all right, so what we want to do is discuss, should you in a classroom use notebooks and textbooks made of paper, or should you use more tablets, more movies, more educational stuff like that? I'm sure you guys have some great ideas, all right? So it's 9:33 now. Let's discuss this until about 9:50, so 17 minutes, 15, 17 minutes of really good discussion. And we'll do one breakout room. How does that sound, Lucy? Let's find Mr. Bone. Oh, Bone probably left a message, you guys. I'm a little tired, so you can just use Lucy. Okay, Bone got tired, you guys. Oh no, I hope you're okay, Bone. Let me leave a message to Mr. Bone. I hope you're okay.
that's too bad.
Yeah, it is too bad. Lucy, do you think you and Dung could do it? Dung, are you there? Would you like to work with Lucy together? A two-person captains on a team?
Yeah.
Okay, Lucy and Dung, I want you to lead a discussion with two more students. And then Christina and you stay in the main room with me and Do Kwang. And let's see, we also have Kwang, the secondary student, can join you. Tom, can you join Dung and Lucy? You guys are like these great debaters. You can really debate. So again, if you say, but teacher, what's the topic? One more time. Do you think teachers should use more movies, films, computer things to help students learn? Or not? You should use more textbooks, more workbooks, more studying on teams. Okay, here we go. Breakout room time, just one breakout room. And all right, please discuss. And we'll open the rooms. And then I'll take some students back. I'll take Christina and Bone can stay because he's a little tired. Do Huang, you can join me if you want. Dung, you're gonna stay in that breakout room 1. Lucy, you have to go to the breakout room. It says not joined. Oh no, but we need Lucy and Dung to lead the discussion group. All right, I'm gonna put Lucy in the main section. And let's see, main session for Lucy, Christina, sorry. Main session for Do Kwang. Main session, let me, okay. And then Tom, you want to stay in the main room? That's fine. Christina, Bone, Tom. Let's pick one more student. Yeah, Do Kwang, good. All right, you guys. And we will discuss the question. So when I was talking about this watching in movies and stuff, Christina, did you want to say anything about that?
No.
Oh, do you like when there are movies in class?
Our teachers don't like us to like have a recess when we are learning, like a
Oh,
small
wow.
recess, because
Yeah.
when our class have a small recess, our class will talk and make a noise. It's very much. So the teacher don't like that. So we don't usually watch films. We only excited because when is music class, we can watch films at the end of the time. After we practicing some music songs, then we can watch many films, and we love it.
Oh, there you go. Okay, I'm going to say that right now, Christina. Our teachers only let us watch films when all the work is done. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And are the films education films?
My music teacher only let us to watch some films when we are done, but we do not watch educational films very much. We often watch cartoons.
Oh my gosh. What kind of cartoon?
Conan, Doraemon.
Oh, you watch, okay. More like cartoons.
When every time that the teacher asks the class, what do you want to watch? The class like, Conan, Doraemon, then it's gone all crazy.
Oh, wait
When
one
I'm
second.
as I'm as the class leader, I always get tired of them because they always make a noise. Please.
Christina, I'm back. Sorry about that. Lucy said this is impossible to do. So everyone, we're going to close the breakout rooms, all right? Breakout rooms. Where are they? Breakout rooms. Okay, we're going to close the breakout rooms. Everyone wants to discuss all together, you guys. That's fine with me, Do Kwang and Christina and Boone. All right. So here we go. We close the breakout rooms. Do Kwang, how are you?
I'm good.
Do Kwang, in your school, do the teachers let you watch movies that are educational movies?
Yes, I think that educational movie can make the student learning more.
Nice.
Because like in my biology class, the teacher we can watch the biology movies like National Geographic, and we can see life of the animals. So that is really excited, and every people in my class very love it.
I'm happy to hear. That's really wonderful, Do Kwang. Do Kwang, are the movies in English or do they change them to do they change them to Vietnamese when you watch these films?
Some has been changed, but some is still in English.
Oh, okay. Does it really help your English when you watch these movies and they talk about biology?
I think that yes, because it's used a lot of hard word, and my biology teacher can be translated for us.
Very nice. Yeah, that's a great way to learn. Do Kwang, do you hear an English word? You say, "Oh, that's really cool." Like, you know, do you guys know the word for amphibians? Do you guys know that word, amphibians? Can you guys give me an example of an amphibian? Do you know that one? Let's go to our
Frog?
Yeah, frog.
Crocodile? Alligator?
Yeah. Who answered frog? Who was that? Was that Lucy or Tom?
Absolutely me.
Okay.
Even
Me?
a crocodile is a reptile?
Yeah,
Wait.
it's a reptile. Yeah. Okay, you guys are good. So I can see that these educational films are helping you. I'm almost thinking most of you would argue for films. So there it is, amphibians.
Amphibians,
And then in Vietnamese,
động vật lưỡng cư.
wow. Hey, you guys, are there interesting amphibians in Vietnam?
I really hate these type of animal.
Do you guys have these ones? Salamanders.
Kỳ nhông,
Do you know? Now, this is a true story. I'm not kidding you. These salamanders on some of the islands that nobody goes to in Japan get so big, they found a 500 kilogram, 500 kg salamander that was like 100 years old. It was a monster. Would you guys like to see that?
Yes, please.
All right, because you guys love educational stuff. So this is an example what I'm doing here now. I showed you the children working in Africa. And so I'll type in Japanese giant salamander. And the reason why this is so good, I mean, we use this in Zoom lessons all the time, you guys. So I argue, yeah, it's really good to use these what are called visual aids. So they caught this guy, we'll call him this bad boy, and they put him on the scale, and look at how huge that is. Now, some of you might say, oh, that's really gross. Lucy, do you think he's pretty ugly?
No, I really hate him. It's horrible.
You really hate him. He's just so gross. Look at how big that salamander is. So these are these giant salamanders of Japan, and people actually come here and they catch these salamanders, and they're really old too because they eat and they eat and they eat all day. So like this is a little salamander, but that's not the giant ones. The giant ones are these ones that they find here. They found this one in a river in Japan. Lucy, if you saw one, would you scream or run away?
Yeah, I would run away as far as I can.
I think they're pretty horrible too. Asian hornets, you guys. We see these in my garden, and Americans are really afraid of Asian hornets. Do you have these in Vietnam? He's the super hornet.
I hate insects.
Do you have these really big ones in Vietnam?
No, that's creepy.
Okay, they're creepy and they're really powerful because if you look, he has these super crunching jaws. Do you know what these bad boys do? They attack a honeybee and they kill all the worker bees, and then they steal all the honey. So they're like kind of like criminals. They're really dangerous. Some of them came to America, and the American government quickly tried to capture them all. There's a National Geographic story about that shows the first Asian hornet nest being attacked by American government workers to stop the spread. They almost look kind of evil, you guys, don't you think?
Yeah. Should we put it in jail?
Put it in jail. Yeah. What they did, Lucy, is they smoked out the nest using fire and smoke, and then they captured the queen. And I think there were 3 queens, but they did it on this guy's in his garden behind his house. So this guy was kind of selfish. He said, that nest belongs to me. And so they killed all the hornets, and then he sold the 3 hornet queens on eBay for hundreds of dollars each. He said, it's my nest. It's really weird. All right. Okay, let's ask some more students. Mr. NN, do you like days when you are, you go to class and you have a movie to watch or a educational video game? Let's see if NN is there. You have good speaking, NN, so I want you to join more. Mr. NN, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
NN, do you get excited when the teacher says we're going to watch a movie today?
Yes, I'm very excited.
So what are your favorite movies? Chemistry, biology, history, social studies?
I like biology and chemistry movie.
Yeah, Do Kwang said that too. I have to say, I also loved the biology movies when I was a primary school student. Do you also watch history movies? Christina's doing her binocular eyes. She's looking at something important. Christina, talk to us. I put your
like,
message.
yes.
Remember I wrote your message? Tell me what your teacher does about movies.
Well, our
Remember?
teachers sometimes or rarely let us to watch education films only when we are needed to and we have unintended time.
And so you said, if you check the chat, you guys, she said, well, the teacher actually shows us cartoons. Is that true? At the end of class, though. Okay. So what cartoons, Christina, do you watch? Please tell everyone, because I thought it was funny.
We often watch Conan and Doraemon. At least I don't want to watch those films because they only like Japan films like Conan and Doraemon. But I like to have some science videos because they're really funny and they're really experimental and it can help us to learn a lot of things.
Yeah. Do you guys watch the science videos on YouTube? Yeah. So Christina, what do you watch? Chemistry, biology, astronomy, the stars? What do you watch?
I often watch astronomies, chemistries, but I watch astronomy about the stars.
Yeah, I love those.
About the horizon, how it make up, and I often watch about the Big Bang and the ellipse too.
Oh, very nice. Do you know what I like are these National Geographic films where, let me put a share screen so you can see Egyptian pyramids aligned with the stars of Orion. Now, sometimes I like when they mix National Geographic does these things where they mix both science and social studies. So, you know, the Great Pyramids of Egypt, right? They think that they built each pyramid to align with a star. Do you guys know that story or that theory?
I have listened to it before and it sounds very mysterious.
So here's the famous Orion the Hunter. In almost every culture, they think Orion was a hunter guy. He was fighting a lion. So they say these three stars, these three pyramids connect to each of his points on Orion. And so that's, you know, just beautiful images. But did the Egyptians really do that? Did they really line up the 3 points of the 3 stars of Orion's belt? Here's the belt, 1, 2, 3. Do you think that's true, you guys? Like, why did they build them? So this is the kind of movies I used to love. These people say it's the 3 planets, Mercury, Venus, and Saturn. And this happens every 2,737 years, 737 years. So that's another theory. Do Kwang, does it look interesting to you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Do you know, Do Kwang, when I was a boy, I would see this pyramid and inside is where the king's body was. I never understood this as a boy. It's you have to go along this walkway and it seemed very strange to me. I thought it was a house inside a house. I didn't understand these diagrams that that's where his tomb is. And it just seemed really weird to me. I could never understand it. There it is again. So what they did is they built all these secret chambers inside the big pyramid. Did you guys know they think there's a secret chamber here?
Yeah, like I have heard before, like someone who tried to explore this pyramid of like all die
Oh, he
for
died,
no
yeah.
reason.
Yeah. It's called the Great Pyramid. Let me just quickly show you this. Okay, so they think there's one more chamber here. This is one they call the Secret Pyramid. So this is the Grand Gallery. You could walk inside this. By the way, you guys, if you go in here in summertime, it's really, really hot. It's almost impossible to do. So you have to wait until winter. But they think that somewhere around here is a mysterious hidden chamber where maybe the bad people didn't steal the treasure. And so it says, hidden corridor discovered in the great. So this pyramid is so huge that there still are secret places inside, that maybe there are some treasures, and they think it's right here. But they haven't opened it yet. They're still waiting because it's dangerous. You can't just open these things. And that's where they have, this is an empty spot. It's called a void, V-O-I-D. So it's kind of exciting. So to answer the question, I love the National Geographic films on Egyptian things, but I also like the science. Let's go to Tom. Hey, Tom, do you think it's a good idea to show videos, play educational computer games for students in class?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, because some mothers and fathers in America say, oh, it's wasting time. The students should be reading paper textbooks and taking notes with notebooks. We don't like so many games and movies. So if you're on the debate team, what would you say? Can I type your answer? Because I think we should go to the debate style for this. Because this will be your homework, you guys. Argue for or against, and then you can give me the answers on Tuesday, okay? So here we go, and I'll do a share screen. Let's, for the next 8 minutes, we have 8 minutes of class left. Tom, can you give me some things to show affirmative team?
Affirmative.
Yeah, you might say, we support using videos and computer games in class because?
Because they will learn faster, and reading through books will just make them hard to understand.
Okay. With the books, does the teacher have to go around to each study group or each student and explain things one by one?
Yes?
Yeah. Do you think with movies and videos, computer games, the student, if he has a question, he can ask the AI much faster to get an answer?
Yeah, that's right.
Videos and computer games. When you mean computer games, those are educational computer games?
Yes.
Okay. Tom, I think it's called built-in prompts.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Perhaps students learn.
All right. Let's try this one. Built-in prompts. Let's see if I can get an image of that, you guys. The built-in prompts. Okay, so what would that look like is the question. So let's stop the share there. And Tom, this is what I was thinking, the built-in prompts. You have a prompt that helps you in an educational setting, like, oh, I need help. And if you look at this, this is not educational, you guys. I don't think that's, you're like shooting things, right? That's not what I mean.
Destroy this cat.
Exactly. Bam, 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 bam. Let's get a better prompt, you guys, something better. Educational prompt. Oh, I don't know. I can't find one, you guys. Give me a good prompt. Like you're playing a game and it stops. You click a window and it says, let me give you some help, right? How about the bald tiger drinking tea? That's not a very good prompt. That's very silly. Who wrote that as a writing prompt? That's not good. Okay, maybe this. Prompts to help you. I wrote built-in help prompts. I didn't make it clear enough, you guys. Help prompts. No, I can't really find a good example, you guys. Maybe this would have some writing prompts on Treasure Mountain. Okay, from the Learning Company, so you hope it's educational. All right, Christina, what's your opinion? Do you think some of these computer games aren't really so educational?
I think the computer game that you have just shown us is maybe not educational, but I think some game that I'm playing right now that have the question that ask about what you have learned or what to review about.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that down. Christine, that's an excellent point. Great point as usual, Christine. Christine just had something. So would this be an affirmative team support the idea? Christine, one more time you said the games have a review.
Review of the lesson that what they have learned. I learn English in my class, and my teacher often have a game like blow the cards or bounce. And to review, and before that, we ask something question about what we have learned. Then, if someone don't know, their classmate can remind them, and they can do the games. And if they win, they got plus. And then if they do not win, they get minus.
Nice. So what I wrote there was the game's review of the lesson of what the student has learned. This is really good. The teacher can let the students go through the review of the computer game and not have to ask the question. Let's ask Dung about this. Dung, are you there? We're missing Mr. NN, the mysterious NN left.
No name, no name, no name, no name.
No name, the mysterious no name. I want to ask Dung. Dung, do you use computer games or movies in your class?
We don't really use them, but I think it is a really good thing we could use in our lessons.
Okay. If you do use computer games, do you use what Christina called the review function? Like at the end of it, you have to go back and check what you learned?
Yeah, it would be quite interesting. And also we could use like videos or movies about the lesson, because those stuff are what the students enjoy, like at home when they are not studying. They like to watch videos and they like to play games. And they would love to do the same thing at school.
This is really good, Dung. Affirmative team support for games and videos. And I'm gonna just kind of change this a little bit, Dung. It's the activities make learning fun, right? And the students might even go home and play the games on the weekend or in the evenings. Is that right, Dung?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. This is called self-directed learning. If you're doing a debate, it's good to use a good big word like that. Self-directed learning means you have the power as a student to check out something interesting on your own. And I think that's really important, that point, Dung, because Christina, also, you said if something really interests you, you're going to research it, do you think? All right. How about Lucy? Lucy, if something's really interesting to you, are you going to find out more information on it?
Yeah, maybe, but just something that like it's really special to me, so I'm gonna search it. But sounds like it's not more. I'm not gonna care about it.
Can you bring it back into your schoolwork and then, like, you know, do a report or something like, teacher, I researched this. I think it's a good topic.
Like my before in a geography class, like my teacher will ask the question that not in the book, not in the textbook. So him will give us a plus, and when you got 4+, you have 1 point in the real exam. So because that question like is really hard, so when I want to get that plus, or when I went home, I have to research what like I just predict like what will my teacher ask on the class. So just write it down and try to answer it. Like every time I in trouble of some part, I just search for the answer of it. And luckily, my teacher asked all of this part, and like I got 10 plus in just 2 weeks.
Wow. I'm going to
Or
write this in
2 or
chat.
3 weeks. Like I just remember it's like that.
Nice work, Lucy. Lucy said, I try to predict what the teacher is going to teach. And then I get information on it. Nice work on that one, Lucy. Do you guys want to, we'll finish in about 2 minutes. Do you want to see something really funny, you guys? When I was studying to be a teacher, my professor said she uses different styles to teach. So her boy had to do a book report on tightrope walking, which I'll show you here, the tightrope walking, which is kind of scary. This is a famous tightrope walker, and he's walking across the building, right? And so the boy said, I don't know anything about tightrope walking, right? So the teacher and her husband built a wire like this in their back garden so the boy could actually practice tightrope walking to really help his school book report on presentation on tightrope walking. And this is really dangerous. This guy's not even using any safety wires. But the boy was only 1 meter above the ground. But she said it was incredibly challenging for him to learn this, but he learned so much from just doing this book report. So Lucy, what do you think of that? Like really doing something like tightrope walking, as long as you like that, Christina? Lucy, what do you think?
Like when you study something and you apply it in the real life, in your
Yeah.
life, so you will remember it better than you just read. You just keep reading on the books, onto the textbook where it's your own text, and you haven't learned anything from that after a long time. Like you don't remember anything.
Yeah. And so this goes back to what Dung was saying about using a pencil and paper helps you memorize more. Some researchers say your body, through using your muscles and your nerves and your bones, it remembers information. It's not just in the brain. It's your brain working with all of your other body parts, helps your whole system to remember things. Isn't that kind of cool? All right, you guys, are you ready for the homework question? Argue for or against using the videos and computer games in class. So try to argue, yes, I think it's a great idea. Or if you are negative team, you say, I don't think they're so important, okay? So how does that sound for a homework assignment, Tom? Do you think you can do it? Hey, where's Tom? Kwang, are you there? I didn't ask you any questions today. I feel terrible. Kwang, how are you?
Here.
Hey, Kwang, do you think you could do that? A 1 minute speaking or video, because you're doing a good job on those. Could you do a 1 minute video presentation if using films and videos are a good idea in classroom?
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think, by the way, Kwang? Do you
Mm,
like that, movies in class?
I think I like that movie. I did make my studies more easier.
Okay. And is it biology, chemistry, social studies, English?
Um, I think it's English.
English, yeah. English
Yeah.
is interesting because we used to watch movies that were made from famous books. Do your teachers do that?
No, not much.
Because there are these famous American stories about teenagers, but then they're also made into movies. By the way, just the last thing I'll show you before you guys go, there was this famous book when I was a teenager, and they made it into a movie. And now they made it into a Broadway musical, you guys. Do you guys know the book, The Outsiders? And this is really funny. Your last thing for today, The Outsiders, the book and the movie and all of this. Most teenagers in America used to read this, but I don't know if they read it now. 45 years ago. It's called The Outsiders, right? And they turned it into a Broadway musical, which is kind of crazy. But if you look at the original movie, The Outsiders, these were really young guys, but all of these guys became really famous actors. Here they are, teenagers. Do you know Charlie Sheen from Top Gun? He was in The Outsiders. This is when he was about 17 or 18 years old. This is Emilio Estevez. He became famous. This is Matt Dillon. He became famous. I couldn't name almost all of these actors became really famous adult actors and made millions and millions of dollars. Like Tom Cruise, every movie he makes from Top Gun, he makes $25 million, you guys. So here's Top Gun with Tom Cruise. He made this about 8 years later, Top Gun with Tom Cruise. Do you guys know this movie? So that's Tom Cruise. All right. All right, everybody, let's finish for today, and I'll put the homework in YOLO. Remember, the topic is, argue for or against movies in class. I think most of you like movies in class, so it should be kind of easy for you guys. Can I say goodbye to you one by one? Bone, I hope you feel better. He got a little sleepy. Lucy, thank you so much for helping, and Christina and Tom and Kwang and Dung. Bye-bye. You guys did a great job. Thanks. Bye-bye, Mr. No Name, wherever you are.